Hi students, today I am going to explain types of chemical reactions. So what we will see different types of chemical reactions. What is a chemical reaction? Chemical reaction involves the breaking and making of bonds between atoms to produce new substances. So what is a chemical reaction? It involves the reaction in which there will be a breaking or making of bonds. So the substances will break or make bonds with other atoms and it will produce new substances. So there are different types of chemical reactions. Let's see here. So there are combination reactions, decomposition reaction, displacement reaction, double displacement reaction, oxidation reaction, reduction reactions, and also endothermic and exothermic reactions. What are combination reactions? The name itself indicates that combining of two reactants to produce product is called combination reactions. In this, see the first example. Let's see. Calcium oxide reacts vigorously with water. What do you mean by vigorously? Vigorously means very fastly. It will react with water very fastly and to produce slaked lime. Slaked lime is calcium hydroxide releasing large amount of heat here. In this reaction, calcium oxide and water combine to form a single product, calcium hydroxide. Means two or more reactants combining to form a single product is called combination reactions. Here more heat is released. If the heat is released, it is called exothermic reactions. The reactions in which heat is released along with the formation of products are called exothermic chemical reactions. So it is a combination reaction and also exothermic reaction. So after calcium hydroxide formed, it reacts with carbon dioxide. So calcium hydroxide reacts slowly with carbon dioxide in the air to form a thin layer of calcium carbonate on the walls. So this calcium carbonate is formed after 2 to 3 days of whitewashing so that it will give a shiny finish to the walls. After we paint the walls with this calcium hydroxide, it slowly reacts with the carbon dioxide in the air from the atmosphere and it will form calcium carbonate. That's why it will be very shiny finish to the walls and it will release water. Then so many combination reactions are there. So some examples they gave here. Burning of coal, carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide. Formation of water, hydrogen plus oxygen gives water. These are all balanced chemical equations. So in simply we can say two or more substances combine to form a single product. It is called combination reactions and these are also exothermic reactions. What are exothermic reactions? Which release heat. Exo means out, exit. Thermic means heat is released. What do you mean by endothermic? Endo means taking in. Thermic means heat. So heat is taken in endothermic reactions. In exothermic reactions, heat is released. So like this we can remember. So many examples of exothermic are given. Burning of natural gas. Natural gas is methane. When it is burned with oxygen, so carbon dioxide plus H2O. So it is an exothermic reaction because heat is released in this process. Respiration is also an exothermic process. So heat is released in this process. We know that. So whatever is the food we eat during digestion, food will be broken into simple substances. This energy again combines with the oxygen. So the glucose which is formed will combine with oxygen in the cells of our body and produces energy. And the special name of this reaction is respiration. In this respiration also energy is released. Some heat is released in this energy. So it is an exothermic process. So glucose reacts with oxygen, so gives carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. Then the decomposition of vegetable matter into compost. So vegetable matter, when it decomposes, it will also produce some heat. Heat is released. So it is a exothermic reaction. Then next we will see decomposition reaction. What is decomposition reaction? When one single reactant decomposes, means breaks into so many products, simpler products, then it is called decomposition reaction. See here in this reaction, so ferrous sulfate, when heat is given, when heated, ferrous sulfate, when heat is given, so when it is heated, it will release ferric oxide, sulfur oxide, and SO3, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. So in this reaction, single reactant breaks down into simpler products. In this, it will lose what? So first ferrous sulfate crystals will be formed, FeSO4 7H2O. Again it will lose water when heated again, and the color of the crystal changes and it will decompose into Fe2O3, that is Fe2O3. That is nothing but ferric oxide, then SO2 sulfur dioxide, SO3 sulfur trioxide. So ferric oxide is a solid and these two are gases. So see here. Next, so in this process what happened? Heat is taken, so it is a endothermic reaction. So again here calcium carbonate, so it decomposes to quicklime calcium oxide and carbon dioxide gas is released. So it has many uses in the manufacture of cement. So decomposition takes place by heating. So when we heat it, decomposition takes place. That's why it is called thermal decomposition. Thermal means heat. By taking heat, the decomposition is taking place. That's why it is called thermal decomposition. Another example they gave for thermal decomposition. Let's see. See, heating of lead nitrate. So lead nitrate, it is heated. So the fumes are nitrogen dioxide. NO2 fumes are released here. So how is the reaction takes place? Let's see. So lead nitrate PbNO3 twice. When it is heated, it is given. It breaks into lead oxide, which is a solid, and nitrogen dioxide, which is a gas, and oxygen, which is also a gas. So in all these reactions, what is happening? So heat is given. So all these are endothermic reactions. Then one more example they give. We see that silver chloride. So silver, when it is exposed to sunlight, so heat is taken. In this process also decomposition takes place and it will release silver and chlorine. So with the help of sunlight, so it is breakdown. And not only silver chloride, silver bromide also behaves in the same way. So it divides into silver and bromine. So it is used in black and white photography. So what form of energy is using the decomposition reaction here? It is the sunlight, light energy. So when we give heat, light or electricity, when the reactants break down or decompose to give many products, then it is called decomposition reaction. And because heat is given, it is called endothermic reaction, as I already told you. Then displacement reaction. Displace means change of place. So displacement reaction, remember displace means change of place. See here. So iron plus copper sulfate. So iron plus copper sulfate, the change of place is taken. So instead of copper, iron took its place. So iron sulfate plus copper is separated. So when the iron nail is dipped into the copper sulfate solution. So when iron nail is dipped into the copper sulfate solution, what happens? Iron nail taken out from the copper out solution, it changes its color into brown. Yes, no? So and also the copper sulfate solution, it loses its color, then test tube. So in this reaction, iron has displaced. It changed its place to remove another element, copper, from copper sulfate. So it is called displacement reaction. So many examples they had given, like zinc plus copper sulfate. Zinc had taken copper's place, so zinc sulfate plus copper. Lead plus copper chloride. So copper's place is taken by lead. Lead chloride plus copper sulfate. Like this examples they have given. Next is double displacement. Here only single change of place. Here double change of place. So you will observe that see here sodium sulfate plus barium chloride. So when both the reactants get reacted, then we will get, so here in the place of sodium barium is there, so barium sulfate, and in the place of barium sodium is changed, so sodium chloride is formed. In this we will see a white substance which is insoluble in water is formed. It is called precipitate. So we will say this reaction as precipitate reaction, precipitation reaction, because precipitate is formed in this. So what causes this white precipitate? Because barium sulfate is formed by reaction of sulfate and barium. The other product formed is sodium chloride, which remains in the solution. So the reaction in which there is an exchange of ions between reactants. So there is exchange of ions here. The ions are exchanged here. So that's why one precipitate is formed. So this reaction is called, because of there is a double exchange of ions, it is called double displacement reaction. Then oxidation reaction. See, oxidation means reaction with oxygen. So adding of oxygen is oxidation reaction, or removal of hydrogen is also called oxidation reaction. Let's see. The surface of copper powder becomes coated with black copper oxide. See here in this china dish containing copper powder, and it is heated. Heated means giving oxygen to this. This is because oxygen is added to copper and copper oxide is formed. That's why it will become black copper oxide. If hydrogen gas is passed over this heated material, so in this copper oxide, when hydrogen gas is added, again the black coating on the surface again convert into reverse brown color. So again we will get copper. So if the substance gains oxygen, it is said to be oxidized. If a substance loses oxygen, then it is said to be reduced. If oxygen is added, it is called oxidation reaction. And if the oxygen is lost, then it is called reduced reaction. So copper oxide is losing oxygen and it is said to be reduced. The hydrogen is gaining oxygen and it is being oxidized. So one reactant gets oxidized while the other will get reduced during a reaction. If one is getting oxidized, other is getting reduced. See here, CO reduced to become Cu. And because oxidation, H2 is gaining oxygen, so it is oxidation. Here it is losing oxygen, reduction. It is gaining oxygen, it is oxidation. So some other examples they give. So both mixed, we can say oxidation reduction reactions or redox reactions. Zinc oxide plus carbon. So we'll get zinc plus carbon monoxide. MnO2 plus 4HCl, MnCl4 plus H2H2O plus Cl2. So these are redox reactions. That's all.